Today we are making my super simple ginger pancakes with caramelized plantain. They're gluten-free and vegan, so suitable for everyone. Okay, so for the pancakes, what you're going to need is self-raising flour, porridge oats, those are sort of the quick cook ones, not rolled oats, and baking powder. Now, if you or any family members or guests need those to be gluten-free, make sure all three are, otherwise we're gonna get someone that's really sick. I've also got coconut sugar, but that could be any type of sugar that you want if you need to swap it out. I have oat milk, then I have melted coconut oil, I have ginger powder and cinnamon. So that's everything for the pancakes, and then for our toppings. I have some toasted sunflower seeds, some fresh grated ginger, I have fresh lime, and then I have a plantain. Make sure that it's basically all black. You want it to look like this, that means it's going to be at its sweetest. Okay, some maple syrup. I also have some coconut yogurt. So I'm using the Coconut Collaborative because theirs is kind of really thick and it's a thing that reminds me of when I used to eat Greek yogurt because you want it sort of really creamy, but you could use any other yogurt you like really. And yeah, that's it. The first step is going to be to make the pancakes. So these are super simple. You don't want to be mucking about when it's Christmas time. And it's just adding all of the dry ingredients in. So that's 150 grams of flour, 50 grams of the rolled oats. Need a tablespoon of coconut sugar, 1.5 of baking powder. With the ginger, I'd say 1 to 2 teaspoons. So I'm gonna add 2 because I like it really fiery, but if that's not your thing, just add a bit less. And then 1/2 teaspoon of the cinnamon. Then we're gonna add a tablespoon of the melted coconut oil and the milk. Okay, I'm gonna do mine with a hand blender. If you have one of the sort of upside down blenders, make sure that it's large enough for this amount of mixture because in my experience, it explodes. What you're doing is just mixing it up so that all of the oats are blended in. You don't want it to look like some weird porridge. It needs to be nice and smooth. Cool. Now that's all blended, we're ready to fry. What you're gonna do then is put some coconut oil in the pan, but what we don't want is because coconut oil heats up and smokes quite a bit, we wanna put a bit in and then use some kitchen roll to kind of smooth it around the pan. Please be careful of your fingers. I just don't feel anything anymore. Okay, and to know that it's got to the right temperature, what you're gonna want to do is put just a little bit in and see if it starts to kind of sizzle and puff up a little bit. Okay, so I can hear that sizzling now, so about 1.5 tablespoons. So it doesn't need to be exact, it's just how big you want your pancakes, but it's sort of this amount. And then we're just gonna swirl it about. You can see that it's starting to kind of bubble up and the little air holes and pockets coming up. That's great, it means it's cooking on the one side. These are super quick and easy, so don't go off and do something or make a cup of tea, otherwise you're gonna get burnt pancakes. We want it to be a kind of golden brown. And that's perfect. The other side really takes less than a minute. You can just see that this one again is puffing up a bit, but it's just to make sure that it's cooked all the way through. I think this is done now. So you can see when you press it, it's kind of springy, and that shows how light and fluffy it is in the middle. So the final step is to make the toppings, and I'm leaving my pancakes out here, but what's best is just to, in a really low heated oven, put some tin foil over them and stick them in there so they stay nice and toasty whilst we're doing this. So to cut this, I'm just gonna cut off the end and then kind of score down the edge like that so that I can easily peel it. So what we're gonna do is kind of cut them slant ways. For no reason, it just looks nice. I'm just gonna add a little bit more coconut oil and allow that to heat up. The way we're gonna test it is just to dip the plantain in like that, and if it starts to sizzle, we know it's right, so mine's already. So these are gonna take a few minutes on each side, but what I'm gonna do is really look at them and see when they're golden. I find that sometimes the ripeness of the plantain can affect how long it takes to cook, so when it's really golden, on the outside, that's when we know that it's done, and we're gonna flip it. Now these are almost cooked all the way through, we're gonna just make the sauce by adding in the other ingredients. So, got the fresh ginger. You can leave this out if you want to, but I wouldn't, it's really good. And maple syrup. So that's probably about 100 ml in there. And we're just gonna give it a bit of a stir around. Okay, these are ready to serve now, so you want to get them off the hob so it doesn't just turn into a big sticky mess. Okay, so what we need to do is stick some yogurt on top, and then going to you can see it starts to get really sticky really quickly, so you have to move quite fast on this bit. Then I want to just get some of this syrup and drip it down on top. And then we're going to serve it with a lime for show, and then just a drizzle of lime on top too. And then just for a little bit of added texture, that's the seeds. So there you have it, the perfect breakfast or brunch for the festive season. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe to this channel. Also, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Everything is going to be in the description down below. See you tomorrow.